Hey, what's up guys? This is Poker Express, and we are back with another episode of Poker Hands. Before getting into it, I would like to ask you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our videos. Let's jump straight into the action.
I haven't cooked food in like 6 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I wouldn't
Big
know.
cooking fan here.
When?
When? At home?
No, when did I ask?
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
okay, you set me up for
I
that one.
know.
Come on.
I
You walked
know.
straight into
I
that.
heard you do that last night too.
You did.
Someone else. So rude.
I mean, it's, yeah. Got him.
Got him. I'm gonna start doing that.
It's such a great one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And O'Dwyer flopping a pair again. This time a middle one.
I feel like we can have a conversation about almost any topic with chat.
I know. They're so engaging. What's oatmeal pudding? Someone said. You guys have that?
What?
Oatmeal pudding? Do you have oatmeal?
I do like them. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the same. It's the same word. I wasn't sure if you guys called it, you know, something like, I don't know, roast beef.
And I'm just gonna flick in the call. Felt like he was considering raising his 10.
What's up with that?
I'll tell you now.
Oh, you call it oatmeal porridge. Any Mulder fans? I mean, I'm supposed to be unbiased here, but I am a Mulder fan. Mulder with the pretty small block bet here on this river. I know Dwyer thinking with his second pair, thinking about bluff catching. This would be a very, very cheap bluff if this gets through. Instead, he's going to face the raise. Interesting.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. Like, we're just in such an intricate part of the game, Drew, that
Yeah,
I'm kind of at a loss
I
for
am.
words of trying to break down what they're trying to do,
I am too.
and I'm just enjoying what's going on. Like, my first instinct is like, okay, just trying to get him off a chop.
Right. Oh. Oh. What's happening?
Okay, alright.
Okay, so I'm completely.
We're as clueless as you guys are. Enjoy the show.
We will just. It seems like they're turning hands into bluffs, into bluffs, into bluffs. I. This is very interesting.
Dealing with the bet 3 bet.
Yeah. Repping an 8 here, I guess.
This is absolutely insane.
Wow.
Led or probe turn
I mean,
for one big. Steve called. Then
this
fold
is
through for one
crazy.
big. Steve made it 550 to go, and I was just like, you know what, pal? Have some of this. I like the hand selection, by the way.
Someone says standard line.
Here's a standard line.
Yep. Really high level play here. Bit different from the commentary.
What
is
on?
happening?
This is the sickest hand I've ever commentated on.
What just happened?
Not going to play the 10-4 though. Jason with a suited ace, he'll play this one for sure.
Still waiting for the Jason's versus Jake clash.
Yeah,
Feels like it's gonna come at some point.
I think so. Jean will give up his small blind. Stevie will play from the big.
Oh, sorry, yep.
He does defend.
It's also one of the trends. It's been going on now for a while, but a few years ago, if you saw someone defend with 10-8 off, you would think he's a really, really bad player.
Yeah. Well, Stevie has flopped top pair. Jason, backdoor not flush draw.
Backdoor wheel draw.
And, well, backdoor steel wheel draw. Make the straight flush. And, well, Jason electing to bet this ace high.
And quite big.
Yeah, 600,000. I guess if you are going to bet this flop, as a bluff, you kind of need to bet quite big, right? Because Stevie's going to have so many hands he can continue with on this board.
For sure. Especially lower flops in general, you want to bet higher because you have a top pair really don't mind the fold now, where if it's a king or an ace high board, top pair doesn't really need to be protected that much. Still pot bets, you don't see that often on flops.
No, and Steven does call and now improves not open a straight draw to go with his top pair.
Makes a lot of sense for Jason to just give up now. Doesn't have any, none of his backdoors came.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any equity.
And obviously there's one that, like a 9-10 jack, probably the worst 3 cards for him, right?
Yeah, and he has some of those cards as well, so those are way better hands to bluff, so he has like plenty of bluffs to choose from that are just better.
River to pair. Oh no, that's no good at this stage.
Maybe Stevie was just floating with the ace queen. Ace jack.
It's about the one hand he can beat. And given the flop sizing, does Stevie bet here?
I would guess no, but yeah, I am wrong.
Well, he does bet. It's
Really
like
small.
500, yeah.
Just trying to get heroed by something. He doesn't have that many bluffs if he check goes this flop. It's pretty much exactly like ace jack, ace 10.
I'm pretty confident Jason won't call this bet. You never rule out a raise.
It's quite tough because
Well, because he would have, because the turn card's so good for Stevie, right? He's likely to have.
wow.
Here we go. Well, exactly what we were just saying. Because the turn card is a card that Stevie was likely to continue on. If Jason had a strong hand, he'd most likely would bet the turn card, right?
Yeah, but that's been a trend that's been shifting as well because you don't want to have a super weak range at any point of the hand because people are just so good that they notice that.
Right.
So
he still does have big hands in this range. You're quite right.
probably
These
has
guys
some-
always have a balanced
yeah.
range. Top players.
they will have some hand in there. Maybe not exactly balanced, but at least a little bit.
Well, this is a fascinating bet. But because he's
Wow.
repping so thin, does Stevie think, well, Jason's such a good player, is he really going to rep this thin and not have it?
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
calls.
wow. He jams. He just rips it.
Wow!
That's also an option.
Wow, the 10 of hearts in his hand. He just rips it over the top of Jason. Incredible.
It's like maybe he rivered some weird 2-pair or a set and he can't call with that, so I just rip it in there.
Wow. Our table chip leader. Saw him late last night. making a number of hands. Uspensky will complete from a small blind. Paniak checks his option queen deuce offsuit. Six deuce the flop. Uspensky decides to check his jack high backdoor hearts. Paniak will quickly bet his pair. Uspensky not ready to go up the jack high just yet. Diamonds on the turn. No slowing down from Paniak. Quickly bets 600. Uspensky now. No draw. Surely will yield this pot. Well, he's gonna raise. Mischief in the early stages. Going out on a limb here. 2.1 million. This may well work. Paniak. Well, Paniak having none of it. Straight back over the top with a re-raise with his deuce. Crazy early action here at Casino Sochi. As well, Uspensky just posturing now. Trying to save some face. Oh my word! Uspensky has 4-bet the turn with Jack 7 high, no draw. Unbelievable stuff here at the start of day 4. Uspensky just not believing that Paniak would ever 3-bet a strong hand on this turn. 4 bets and gets it through. 10 million chips bet on the turn with no pair, no draw. Uspensky laying down the law on table black.
But if let's say Mustafa and Michael had been playing at this stack size the whole time, and Mustafa had been 3-betting to less than all in, you know, a bunch of times, and then suddenly he goes all in, it's a lot easier for Michael to put him on a hand like sevens, which benefits a lot from jamming.
Sure.
So when it's the first one, you want to just choose the one that's best for the hand.
Yeah. So Mustafa limping in, Michael raising up with the ace-8. Mustafa 10-8 of diamonds.
Mustafa is probably going to call here.
It looks like you are correct. That is why we have you in here.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable hand to shove, but the 10 is just really bad when you get called, is, you know...
It flops quite well. Not this time, though. The 7-5 deuce, 2 spades, neither player with anything. Michael, the first action. Is that a good flop for Michael? Because he doesn't see Mustafa limp calling with many 5s or 7s?
It's a sort of mediocre board for both players. You know, it's hard to hit this board in general, so, you know, and the limp call range is going to be, you know, I mean, neither of these guys have much 2-pair in this spot.
Right.
And so you can sort of just bet a lot of hands, but especially with the 8 in your hand, it becomes a better C-bet.
Right, as we alluded to earlier, you're blocking draws. You're blocking the opponent having 6-8 or 8-9, right? So
yeah, partially that, and also that you turn a lot more draws. You know, if you have ace-10 here, you know, you can't really turn any draws. So you know, you're much happier to bet an 8 here where you can turn a few draws. you know, if you have ace-10, you're much more likely to check as well because you have more showdown.
Right, it looks like he's reaching for chips. Michael has c-bet, and there is a raise.
Yeah, Mustafa, you know, trusting the reads.
3.3 million. Have some of that.
Playing with the flow. He's put in a third of his stack.
10 million to start?
I start with 10, yeah.
Michael, surely impossible to proceed here.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty sweet. Pretty sweet read.
All in?
There it is. Love it.
Wow, this is some poker.
Good deal.
That is some serious poker. Didn't take much time there.
No.